So every time I try to stop discussing this case, Miss Lively has yet another trick up her sleeve. So what's going on right now?
I don't know who is tuned into this Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni lawsuit, but oh my god, has nothing ever piqued my interest more than this year.
Y'all, Blake Lively just got caught out here faking receipts, and the desperation is so loud it's practically screaming. She really thought she could gaslight the entire internet, but her latest move to leak proof is giving manipulation on expert mode. And if you thought that was wild, buckle up, because Blake then went for Justin Baldoni's phone records like she's the FBI. Meanwhile, in reality, she's realizing the overwhelming evidence she's been screaming about was all made up in her head. Now that her lies got exposed, she is now begging Justin to drop his lawsuit and forget everything. But not before her and Ryan Reynolds pulled one of the nastiest stunts at the SNL 50th anniversary. And honey, that was proof that they might actually be Hollywood's most unhinged couple. Y'all, this drama just keep getting messier, so let's get into it. Y'all, for a long time now, Blake has been playing the blame game with Justin. Blake has been throwing everything at the wall and hoping to see what stuck. By everything, I mean straight up fan fiction level nonsense. And recently, with just hours left before she had to submit her amended lawsuit, Blake decided to switch from filing actual legal documents to recruiting TikTok conspiracy theorists. Yes, you heard that right. Instead of using the actual court system, she's out here leaking so-called HR complaints through random creators. You see, Blake was late to amend her lawsuit, like so late that the judge almost didn't let her, but Justin Baldoni's side, being the class acts they are, said they didn't mind waiting. So we all sat tight, thinking Blake was about to hit us with some kind of smoking, but instead, she served up a platter of pure nonsense. The desperation from Blake is loud. She's throwing out every wild accusation she can think of, hoping something will stick, but it's just making her look worse. Instead of proving her case, she's out here embarrassing herself, and the internet is not letting it slide. Now, the pro-Blake anonymous TikTokers are out here spinning wild tales. According to these random accounts, Justin Baldoni allegedly touched another actress inappropriately on set, and when she complained, his response was, "Oh no, better go see HR." Like, what? First of all, let's just say this accusation is conveniently vague. No names, no dates, no specifics, just a whole lot of drama with zero receipts. Now, don't get me wrong, if this were true, it would be serious. But here's the thing, these TikTokers are clearly Team Blake, and they're throwing out accusations like confetti at a parade. It's giving desperation on a whole new level. And let's not forget, Blake's camp has already been caught faking receipts and leaking evidence through random creators instead of, the actual legal system. So forgive me if I'm side-eyeing this whole thing. What's even more suspicious is the timing. Blake's lawsuit is hanging by a thread, and suddenly these anonymous accounts pop up with these explosive claims. It feels like a last-ditch effort to sway public opinion because the facts aren't working in her favor. And honestly, it's not a good look. If there was real evidence, why isn't it part of the actual lawsuit? Why is it being leaked through TikTok instead of presented in court? Justin's team has been pretty quiet about all this, but they're watching. And if these accusations are as baseless as they seem, you can bet they're gonna come back swinging. Meanwhile, Blake's credibility is taking hit after hit, and this latest stunt might just be the nail in the coffin. Variety magazine already checked in with Sony back in August to see if there were any HR complaints against Baldoni, as Blake had claimed. Sony was on record saying there were 0 HR complaints against Justin. Guys, if Sony was lying about these so-called HR complaints, don't you think SAG-AFTRA, the actual actors union, would have stepped in and taken action against Justin by now? Like, we'd have major receipts, right? But instead, all we've got is an article with the complaint dates mysteriously redacted. Why hide the dates if everything is so solid? Somebody make it make sense. And let's entertain the the idea for a second that these complaints were filed after production wrapped. Even if that's the case, it still doesn't prove they're true. Like, anyone can file a complaint, but that doesn't automatically make it fact. This whole thing feels like a desperate attempt to throw mud at the wall and hope something sticks. But honey, the wall is looking pretty clean right now. If this mess actually makes it into Blake's amended lawsuit, there's zero chance Justin is settling. His attorney might have entertained the idea of settling earlier just to keep things professional and move on with his life, but now, if this becomes a full-blown court case, we're strapping in for a long ride. This is way far from over. But wait, it gets wilder. While we're still trying to catch our breath from the lawsuit drama, Blake decided to turn up the heat. She's now demanding Justin's phone records. What's clear is that Blake is pulling out all the stops to try and salvage her case, but it's starting to feel less like a legitimate legal strategy and more like a PR stunt gone wrong. The more she pushes, the more she's exposing herself, and the internet is not letting it slide. Now, Blake's now demanding Justin Baldoni's phone records, like text messages, call logs. She wants everything. Apparently, she's convinced there's some smoking gun in there that proves Justin, along with half of Hollywood and their PR teams, orchestrated a smear campaign against her. But wait, it gets better. Blake isn't just coming for Justin's phone records. She's dragging in his business partners, his PR people, his digital strategist, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if she subpoenaed his Uber Eats driver just to see what he's been ordering at 2 a.m. Like, ma'am, this is more entertaining than any movie she's ever acted in. Justin's team, of course, is having none of it. They sent a letter to the judge arguing that Blake's demands are wildly invasive and unnecessary. And honestly, they might have a point. Demanding years worth of data is next level overkill. Blake's team is doubling down though, saying they need all these records to expose the web of people involved in ruining her reputation. Meanwhile, Justin's team is calling it what it is, a massive fishing expedition. But wait, there's more. Blake isn't stopping at phone records. She's now demanding access to Justin's location data for over 2 years. Like, what does she think this is? A spy thriller? If this doesn't prove that Blake doesn't actually have a case against Justin, I don't know what does. At this point, it's starting to feel less like a lawsuit and more like an obsession. Let's be real. If Blake had solid evidence, she wouldn't need to go digging through years of Justin's personal data. The fact that she's throwing out these wild demands just shows how desperate she is to find something, anything to back up her claims. But the more she pushes, the more she's exposing herself, and the internet is not here for it. Now, if that wasn't enough drama, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds showed up to the Saturday Night Live 50th anniversary, and let's just say people were confused, like genuinely scratching their heads, side-eyeing the whole situation type confused. Why, you may ask? Well, first of all, Ryan's joke during the event just proved what we've all been low-key thinking.
Who else? Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds.
Hi.
Hey. Ryan Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Now, before we dive into the drama, let me give y'all some context real quick. By now, everyone knows about the mess between Blake and Justin Baldoni over It Ends With Us, the lawsuits, the smear campaigns, the allegations flying left and right. And yet, here we are with Blake and Ryan showing up, smiling and mingling like they don't have the entire internet questioning their every move. So let's talk about the why. Why were they even there? Sources at the event say that even the A-listers in attendance were literally ignoring them because, let's be real, no sane person wants to touch this couple with a 10-foot pole right now. Word from other attendees is that there was whispering about their presence the entire time. Like, people were low-key side-eyeing them while pretending to sip their champagne. And then there's Ryan's joke, oh honey. During his bit, he made a quip that had everyone looking around like, did he really just say that? It was one of those moments where you could hear a pin drop and not in a good way. It's like he was trying to be funny, but it just came off as unhinged. And honestly, it kind of confirmed what a lot of people have been saying about them lately, that they're not just a power couple, they're a problematic couple.
He didn't have to say anything. He did not have to say anything. And the pure fear on her face says it all. Just a disclaimer, this video is for education.
But here's the real kicker. Why show up at an event hosted by Colin Jost, Scarlett Johansson's husband, when Scarlett and Ryan have their own complicated history? Like, ma'am, sir, are you trying to stir the pot or just completely oblivious? Either way, it's not a good look. So what's the takeaway here? Blake and Ryan's appearance at the SNL 50th anniversary was a choice. A confusing, messy, what are they even doing here kind of choice, and the fact that they were basically ignored by other A-listers says everything you need to know about how people are feeling about them right now. Anyways, what do y'all think? Is Blake digging herself into a deeper hole, or is there more to this story we're not seeing? Drop your thoughts below, because this drama is far from over. Till next time, bye!